how you doing? Name's OP. This is a trend I've been seeing all over YouTube, and I thought to myself, what if I do it with gacha games? So here we are. I'm gonna show you the 7 layers of gacha. Some of these might surprise you, while others are pretty obvious. Now, the real question is, where do I put action time and in all this? In 1993, the first ever TCG was introduced, which was none other than Magic the Gathering. This game allowed players to assume the role of a planewalker to battle against other players with the deck they got from packs. These packs consisted of basic lands, commons, uncommons, and rare. Later on, the developers would further expand this rarity system, adding brand new mythic rares to the game and even variants with holographic foils. Shout out to Sephiroth being more expensive than my PS5. This was the beginning of it all, ripping open packs in hopes to find the best cards or that sick new rare. Some people may argue this isn't a real gacha since players can buy the exact cards they are looking for or trade with other players, but on that same note, someone had to gamble on the packs before that market could even be a thing. Little did we know though, this market they had was only going to get worse. TCG may have been the first start to the gacha aspect, but it really started to boom around the 2010s, mainly in Japan, with games like Puzzles & Dragons in 2012, Grand Blue Fantasy in 2014, and Fate Grand Order plus Dokkan Battle in 2015. These were all taking the gacha market to a whole new level, generating ludicrous amounts of money while also keeping players hooked. It wouldn't be long till the West saw these huge successes and thought, how can we make that?
Get ready to raid.
This is one of, if not the worst gacha experience we could have seen, with quality of life features locked behind paywalls, extremely low gacha rates, and countless amounts of cash grab systems to make players spend more money. I think the worst crime of all of this though is just how these characters look. Like, this is supposed to be a legendary. What's legendary about this? We could really have an entire video tearing through Raid Shadow Legends, showing how bad a gacha product can truly get if you only care about driving player revenue, interaction, and seeing your player base as nothing more than a pile of money. I could have started with all this, but I wanted this to be where the no effort gacha lies. The ones that are just here to get a quick buck, milk players for as long as they can until eventually it all dries up. I can promise everything else we're gonna be talking about is gonna be better. Hopefully. The gacha market was booming in Japan back in the 2010s, but nowadays you can find gachas all over the global market as well. Most newer gacha games that release usually have a same time release window worldwide. This is a completely new concept and wasn't a thing back in the day. One thing that hasn't changed though is that some of these games are still locked to JP only or even CN. You may have even tried to download some of these games even though you can't read anything because you're a fan of what you have seen or you're a fan of the anime. The reason why I say anime is because most of these games are anime IP gachas like Naruto Mobile or even One Piece Ambition. If you ever want to know how to play one of these or download it, it's only one quick Google or YouTube search away. Be ready to use a VPN though. Especially with these CN games, they don't like foreigners getting into their games. With gacha games expanding so rapidly and so many releasing, the gacha player base were quick to start categorizing these games. One of those categories was to show how much time you would need to actively play a said game. If it was less than what was usual for a gacha, it was quickly referred to as a side game. A game where you could log in and play while you were on the bus or to avoid that awkward convo you're about to have while waiting in line for your coffee. Something that was a very good pick up and play kind of game. I kind of refer to these as like crash fevers. I would even argue your Dokkan Battle, just doing one run of something real quick and getting off the game shortly after. It's not to say these games don't have depth, it's just they're simple to pick up and play. They offer short bursts of fun instead of a long continuous grind with some kind of payout at the end of your play session. Unlike the side game, the main game is meant to be played for longer sessions. Think of games like Wuwa, having a massive world you can explore, run around and do quests in. Even a more recent release with Chaos Zero Nightmare, specifically the Void Game mode that takes about 30 to 45 minutes to finish, and you need to do this mode in order to even build up your characters. These usually offer a richer gameplay experience, similar to what you would see in a PC or console release. Or it could also just be gear grinding hell. You can decide which one you're playing. Gachas are a live service model, a game where they get frequent updates, content drops, always evolving to keep players interested. With a live service model though, comes with a few big risks. In order for this to keep going, you need money. And you need player interest to keep the game going as well. What happens when either of those run out? When a game finally dies in the gacha scene, that's it. Usually it never comes back, and the only thing you have left from that game are just screenshots or videos. You can no longer play the game or even log in to look at your box. It's all gone in a blink of an eye. Some games that experience this probably deserve it, like King Sense. You guys remember this? Thing was up for like a week. While others were truly special. Dragalia Lost, The City of Final Fantasy Opera Omnia, and Blazing are just some of these games that have a lasting impact on me. Nothing was as fun as queuing up for a raid in Dragalia Lost with your boys as y'all shit-talked each other about how bad your unit was built or how you couldn't dodge a certain attack, or how I would stay up for the hype releases in Dissidia in hopes of trying out some of my favorite characters in Final Fantasy. Not to mention, the first 2 years of Blazing was just peak, man. Oh my goodness. Y'all remember when Curse Mark Sasuke came out and he was just blowing up everybody? He was a free unit, by the way. Now, the grind to get him was pretty tough. I won't lie, I remember having to bang my head against the wall a few times here. But what a time to be alive back then. Good lord, it was so great. Now we got Stellasora. With all the popularity of gachas throughout the 2010s, a few games really innovated and caused new trends to spring forth in the industry. Some of these games you may have played or still play. Just know they had a widespread effect. Fate Grand Order is one of these games. Not for the gameplay, not for the gacha. God, that gacha's terrible. Or even the events, even though some of the events in Fate are really good. It was because of the story this game had. This game showed the developers and even the audience that mobile games, specifically gacha games, were able to craft these massive, compelling stories that would hook you and you would become extremely attached to. Everyone who plays Fate will tell you that if you're not playing for the story, what are you playing for? Because it's not for the grind. The grind is not fun at all, let me tell you. Plus, this pushed the visual novel standard in gachas, where any gacha game that isn't open world, or I would say even like 3D, has this kind of storytelling. PNG kind of images, crazy looking artwork and everything on screen as they tell about the story. Some people love it, some people hate it. I say if the story's good, I don't care what the median is. You know, I still read a book. I know, call me a nerd if you want to, but Red Rising is fire. Genshin Impact. Love it or hate it, you can't deny that this game changed so much for the gacha scene. For one, it made the industry mainstream. Before this, really, it was relatively small and tight-knit, which some people may have preferred that because everybody kind of knew everyone to an extent. If you saw somebody playing one gacha, you probably were going to see them playing another in a different Discord or a different Reddit. They introduced the 50-50 system for summoning, which is something, to say the least. You know, I won't talk on it, but it's something. And lastly, they introduced the open world genre to this industry and caused so many games to start doing this that it sickens me to look at every single game. 7 Deadly Sins Origin isn't even out yet, and it's an open world 7 Deadly Sins game. Not gonna lie, I miss having just missions and quest in like a menu or something. It worked a lot better on mobile than having a game that is as big as The Witcher 3's world but with touchscreen controls. I have to give credit where credit is due though. They changed the game completely. Those were the 7 layers of gacha. Tell me down below what you all think about this and where you think some of your favorite games belong. I'll be reading and replying to every comment on this video, so don't think I won't see it or read it. If you find this video entertaining, click on this video here to tier list ranking every gacha I've played. I'll meet you over there. Oh, and one more thing before you leave, don't forget to drink water.